Hey everyone, my name is Chris, and today we're going to be talking about another piece of tech that I use every single day and I absolutely love in the second episode of my new series that is quickly becoming a favorite of mine, if not yours, Chris's No Reviews of Tech. So let's just jump in. All right, so today we're going to be talking about the TCL Alto 9 Plus, which is a Dolby Atmos ready soundbar from TCL. It is a soundbar and wireless subwoofer combo, and it is fantastic. Before we get started, this is not an audiophile channel, so we will not be talking about soundstage and voicing and where the mids and the lows are and what it's like when you hit the dB meter off the chart. If you want something like that, there will be links in the description for someone who does that way better than I ever could. What we're going to be talking about in this video is why I love this particular piece of gear and what kind of problem it solves in my life. And after hearing that, hopefully you'll know if it will be able to solve similar problems in your life. Okay, so we will not be looking at tech specs when it comes to these things. I'll throw the tech spec up here just so you can see it. For the most part, when I choose a piece of gear, I have a need that I want filled, and I have a price point in mind that I am willing to pay to get that need filled. And the Alto 9 Plus really hit a good balance with that. As you can see, this is a well-appointed piece of kit with most of the features, if not all the features, that you would want in a soundbar in 2021, especially when you get into things like Dolby Atmos. And I did not buy this specifically for Atmos, even though my setup supports it and I am using it now that I have it. I needed a soundbar that had better clarity when it came to dialogue. For most of my life, I've had hearing loss, genetic hearing loss, and then through a misguided journey in my youth when I was in bands, I added to that with some self-inflicted hearing loss from just being an idiot. And so that has resulted in, as years go by, that volume on that TV has to keep cranking up so that I can clearly hear what's going on, and it's beginning to be a problem with my family who does not have self-induced stupidity hearing loss. And so I started looking for something that would allow me to not crank things so high and abuse the hearing of the rest of the people in my family, as well as those around me, because we're living in an apartment, which will become important later. And that led me to the TCL and specifically this type of soundbar setup. And I have to say, from the moment I set it up, it was perfect. It clear dialogue delivered, and I've been able to drop the volume by half of what I used to use with my previous soundbar, and that is just spectacular. On top of that, the bass is richer than when I had a Vizio soundbar before to go with my Vizio TV. Just everything across the board is nicer. Visually, I think it's a beautiful soundbar. It's different, which I appreciate. But it does blend into the background, which is what I kind of want when I get a piece of tech like this. The Dolby Atmos is fairly interesting. I can't take really good advantage of it because, again, living in a multi-unit kind of environment like I do, I can't really crank the volume of it up to where you would need to really get the most out of the Dolby Atmos functionality. And plus, the room that it's in really isn't well designed for the way this soundbar shapes the sound with bouncing and things to give you that above and behind kind of experience. But I have noticed, watching some movies that are Dolby Atmos encoded, I can get a fuller soundstage and a fuller experience of what's going on than I ever could before. And so even that makes it way better than what I had before. And all of this comes in at about $250 US, which is pretty outstanding for the quality. It has really good build quality as well. All of those things you would expect a higher price tag and a higher premium to be attached to, and that just isn't the case with this. Now, it's not perfect It has some weird issues with Wi-Fi connection going off and on, and sometimes it connects to the TV and everything kind of runs together, and sometimes that can be a little buggy. But I found that's the issue with every soundbar I've ever used, so I'm not really complaining about it. For the price and what I wanted out of it, it is spectacular, and I could not be happier. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. And especially if you're in the market for a new soundbar in 2021 and don't want to break the bank, but want to experiment with Dolby Atmos and have clearer dialogue delivered to you, even on non-Atmos encoded content, I think you can't go wrong testing out this soundbar. So I'll have links in the description to it on Amazon. They will be affiliated. So if you buy them, I'll get a little cheddar, but not much. So don't feel bad about it. And you can always just find it by searching if you did not want to give me a little kickback. So fine by me. All right, I think that's it. One thing to note is that I did say in the previous episode there would be no B-roll and no slow motion and no junk, just straight to the point, straight dope, if you will, on these things. And you will notice that this had a tiny bit of B-roll, and I I realized watching my first video that you should probably see the product that we're talking about, and if I'm going to put a camera in front of it, I might as well make it at least a little bit enjoyable. So there will be just a tiny bit of scotch, the tiny bit of B-roll in these going forward, but absolutely no slow motion. So yeah, I think that's it for me. All that's left to say is, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give it a thumbs down. It's a free internet. I won't hold it against you. Until I see you guys in the next video, if you have tech that is just part of your world and you could not live without, go ahead and throw it in the comments. I would love to see what you love, and maybe I'll find some new stuff to love myself. So I will see you guys in the next video.